Time to get ready for your day with the morning warm-up with Trey Lyle. Join us live on VTRN Sports 93.3 FM or the VTRN Sports app. Open VTRN Sports on your smart speaker or stream live on YouTube. Time to get ready for your day with the morning warm-up with Trey Lyle and Ty Tracy.
Good morning, 7:03 on this Friday. Got to get down on Friday, March 28th. Trey Lyle, that's Philip.
What's going on?
And boys and girls, it's going to be a fun in case you missed it.
Keeping up with sports 24/7 takes some serious effort, especially when you're sleeping. Don't worry. The morning warm-up stays alert around the clock. Now, here is everything you missed last night.
So get to the headlines before I get to the games. Former Tennessee football coach Jerry Pruitt has filed a lawsuit against the NCAA seeking $100 million and claims it conspired with the University of Tennessee to make him a quote-unquote sacrificial lamb. Pruitt was fired for cause by Tennessee in January of 2021 and did not receive any of his $12.6 million buyout after an internal investigation revealed what Chancellor Don Powlin said was serious violations of NCAA rules. On July 14, 2023, the NCAA sentenced Pruitt to a 6-year show cause. Basically, that means, if you don't know what a show cause penalty is, Hugh Freeze actually had one. You have to show, like, why you're hiring this person. Is the basic way to do it, including a year-long suspension from coaching in games and recruiting off campus his first year back should he return to coaching in college. All right. The first NCAA score I'm going to get to is Florida and Maryland. Florida dominates 87-71, but the biggest takeaway is Kevin Willard after the game, who legitimately just said, "I don't know," when asked about taking the Villanova job. As someone who covered a Virginia Tech team who lost in the Sweet 16, who there were reports that the coach was taking a different job as the team was wrapping up their Sweet 16 appearance, he gone. It's same vibe as Buzz when he went to Texas A&M. Little different dynamics because Maryland can pay what Villanova can pay. I think here it's more of a case of the AD changed, and he has not gotten the funding he's wanted from Maryland. Maryland clearly wants to invest more in football for whatever reason. These Big East schools are going to be very interesting this next year because they are going to have more NIL as a power basketball league than any other because they don't have FBS football. They don't have high-level football like the SEC and the ACC and the Big Ten. So they can get $2 to $3 to $4 million more in NIL compared to the other schools, which could be the difference in the world. So Kevin Willard's set to become the next head coach at Villanova, it appears. I jokingly tweeted last night over under 12 hours before it's announced. It appears the over will hit unless it hits. I sent that tweet out at 9:48 p.m. So I still have almost 2 hours, over 2 hours actually. So we still got time for the under to hit. But I just think it's interesting that's what happened last night. As we went on the air, Diana Rossini said nothing's set in stone yet, but the sense she has is that there's momentum around banning the tush push. All I have to say is grow up. I think that's simple. It's a football play, and you just can't. I mean, if one team is good at it, you know what? We should ban the forward pass because Josh Allen can throw it farther than anyone. You know, that's what we should do.
That's only fair.
You can't throw it 50 yards. You only can throw it 20 yards because Josh Allen can do it, but no one else can. Not saying no one else can throw it 50 yards in the NFL, but you get my point. I think I made a good point. All right. Sorry, that was a side rant. Other scores from the NCAA tournament last night in the Sweet 16. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. All right, so first, I still think Mark Sears is hitting threes from last night. He drops 34 Alabama 113, BYU 88. That's an NBA score.
Yeah, that was insane. It was like watching the 2015, 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers just draining threes. Maybe 17, I'm not sure.
Alabama makes 25 threes, which is the record for an NCAA tournament game. Mark Sears ties the record for most threes in a tournament game, as he drops, as mentioned, 34, shoots 10 threes, or shoots 10 of 16 from three. And Alabama just, offensively dominates BYU 113-88. They set up their matchup. So that was the early set of games. As for the evening set of games, Texas Tech makes an awesome comeback, and they were down 13 with 6 minutes left, 6 with a minute left. They force overtime, and they pull it out. JT Toppin was awesome. Johnny Davis for Arkansas was awesome. But Texas Tech pulls it out 85-83 in a fun game. Probably the best game of the tournament. And it was fun. Darian Williams had a great second half for Texas Tech to carry their way. And you got to give Arkansas credit. I know Cal probably mismanaged the late game if you want to be very critical.
A little bit.
But, they were the underdog in this. I think if you told Cal, hey, Cal, you went 0-5 to start league play at your new job, and you lose by 2 with a shot to tie in overtime of the Sweet 16, he would take it. And maybe give the ball to John A. Davis there on that last set. This is a guy who's hit big shots in the NCAA tournament, had 30. And if you want to be super critical, but I'm going back to my, oh my God. Caleb Love almost did it again.
Yes.
First off, Caleb almost did it 35 last night. But, oh my God. And I'm waiting for official statement from the North Carolina fan club about Caleb Love. Hopefully he'll text me back by the time the end of the show is. If you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. His name is Bryson Gordon. Duke 100, Arizona 93. Cooper Flagg 36-7. 3 blocks. He is the first player in NCAA tournament history to have 37 and 3 blocks. He was incredible. He dominated that game last night. And Duke fans were probably feeling, oh my God, Caleb Love is going to do it again. He's going to eviscerate this Duke team. Again, he drops 35. But Cooper Flagg says, no, we're good. I mean, he hit a 3 near half court at halftime. He is the best player in college basketball. He's going to be the number 1 pick. We're going to get the NBA scores. There's a reason I keep saying capture the flag. I was like I had to be strategic about my sleep last night because I'm covering the races at Martinsville. So I was listening to the game, and so I rewatched like the highlights this morning. And I was listening to the game as I was falling asleep last night on the VTRN Sports app. He's incredible. That's like I'm underselling it.
It's really commendable for him as well. Coming off an ankle injury, obviously, any type of injury is not easy to come back from. And a lot of players in this position just set up to be the top pick in the NBA draft. You'd probably think would just throw the towel in for the year, just get ready for the draft and just heal. But the fact that he did come back and he's making the pathway that he is for his Duke team is really commendable. And honestly, I don't see a lot of other teams in the tournament that are going to step up to Duke. And there hasn't been a lot of really close games, but Caleb Love, that is 35 points. He really did put the team on his back as well. Very good game, but Cooper Flagg, I'd say he has the number 1 pick solidified. He's had it solidified.
Yeah. I mean, the comparison is he better than Zion? And I think if he gets to the Final Four, you have to say yes, he's better than Zion. As someone who watched Zion live, But man, Ty's shaking his head.
He been better than Zion.
Yeah.
Skill set, everything else.
Well, you have to picture it as Zion in college. You can't be like Zion now. Like you take Zion now, like Zion's playing incredible basketball now.
Zion was like a D tackle. He's half bigger than kids. Of course, he's better than. Of course, Cooper Flag is way better than him.
I'm not disagreeing.
I was like, he's way better than Zion. Zion can do.
How far did Zion get?
What's like
the Elite Eight?
I was Elite Eight.
I was at the game. He won the Sweet 16, man. I know how far he went.
I mean, I'm just saying, man, he's way better than Zion. I just can't stand the Zion comparison.
Well, you're
like, he's
comparing
overhyped.
because he's the last freshman phenom.
He was overhyped.
I don't know about that, but no. As someone who watched, okay, we're taking in Ed's words, a detour. As someone who watched Zion Williamson in person, like, what he is the greatest athlete I have ever seen in person in my life. And I'm okay. I feel confident saying that. And this is someone who saw Zeke at Ohio State.
Oh, that's you're a lucky guy for that. I'm not
so I saw Zeke at Ohio State because he played, and I saw Zeke hit a hole and take it 80. I've seen it. Like, he's the best athlete I've ever seen. And this is, I'm not saying he's the best athlete of all time, but he's the best athlete. Like, an underrated one, no one knows what I'm talking about, is Mekhi Lewis, who is the wrestler at Virginia Tech, who won to a national title and then went to a second and is a junior gold medalist and was like a 3-star running back recruit out of New Jersey and could have played football, but he wrestled and he was a freak athlete playing wrestling at Virginia Tech. But Zion's the best athlete I've ever seen in person. Like, and the key word here, folks, is in person. So if you want to get to my mentions at Trey Lyle VT, like, you never saw Bo Jackson. I was like, yeah, because I'm, I would argue Bo Jackson is the best athlete ever. Like, I'm not dumb, okay? I'm not someone who gets all in their feelings about athletes like a certain person that's on television right now.
A slight detour. Were you there for the Virginia Tech Ohio State game where Braxton Miller hit that crazy spin move? Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, that was
that's
my
awesome.
first. So that was my first game as a student at Virginia Tech, and that is when I realized, like, this is when I understood how college football truly works. And Philip, you can be a little bit more honest here, and I feel like you'll feel the same way when your team played Oregon.
Oh yeah.
When you watch it and you're like, oh, because like all my life I was like, okay, I think Virginia Tech can do this, and then I watched Braxton Miller hit that spin move, and this is his first game playing H-back in his life, not quarterback. And I watched that game, and I watched Joey Bosa just wreak havoc, and then I watched Zeke Elliott. And they weren't even playing the right quarterback at the time.
Yeah.
They should have played JT Barrett. I went, oh, there are truly levels to this.
100%.
There are truly different type of human beings that play. And I wasn't even on the field. I was in the nosebleeds. And I saw that spin move. And I just was like, oh. Because there was a moment in that I was like, oh my God, they're going to beat him again. Because if you remember this game, and we are taking a big detour, and we'll get more scores in a second. Virginia Tech was up 17-14 and a half. They score right before halftime. There's the infamous Michael Brewer, like, they got me. They ain't going to hurt me. I guess it was at halftime. The camera catches him saying that.
Yeah.
And 2 plays into half. I think it was Joey Bosa, quick move and just destroys his collarbone. And then the game's over, and that spin move happens, and I just am like, oh, they're different types of athletes. And then basketball is a little different. Like, I think that Tech team could have beat that Duke team. Well, they did beat that Duke team minus Zion, but they could have beaten. I mean, they were 3 inches away from going to overtime in that game. But I think when you watched, no offense, Caden Salter, but the starting quarterback of Oregon is currently the starting quarterback in the NFL. Like, there are level. Tez Johnson, one of the best,
craziest athlete I've probably ever seen in person. Tez Johnson was insane.
And that Oregon defense has NFL players, like actual multiple NFL players. Like, Quentin Cooley was the best player on your team.
Arguably, yes.
And he's probably going to go, like, he might go, like, he's going to be it's just a deep running back class. You never know where he's going to go.
Yeah, after the second quarter in that game, I was ready for the Whataburger. I was going to get before the plane. That's all I could say.
Do you like that place?
Whataburger over In-N-Out every single day.
I've never been to an In-N-Out. I've been to a Whataburger.
Whataburger's like Burger King 2.0.
No,
Okay, can we'll get calm down. We're having an early Friday hypothetical. You're okay, Ty. If you have an opinion, just run to the microphone. That's all I ask. Okay. Well, this is what an opening segment. We have gone off the rails, but it's Friday and I'm here to have fun. But it's just a different, like, it's seeing that. And that's why, I'm always going to have this affinity for Zion Williamson because I saw him live and just like seeing a man who just can casually do 360 dunks, like didn't even have to put any effort in. But back to Cooper Flagg is why we started this. We ended with the Whataburger. What a time. He's 18. Like he went 17. He's going to be the youngest player in the NBA draft. And he's doing this on this big stage. Like the reason I did not pick Duke to win the national championship is because I saw like 40% of the people pick Duke in the bracket groups. And it was like, well, most times I was playing the numbers. I was like, most times people don't. And I think Florida can give them a good test. Like Florida looked really good against Maryland. And they shut down their freshman phenom who just came off of hitting a game winner.
Yeah.
But I think after a week of Kevin Willard going to Villanova talk, it kind of killed Maryland's sales a little bit. But yeah, so Cooper Flagg, really good. I know that's not breaking news and that's not insane. But it's just, it's fun to watch, and I'm pumped for Saturday when they play, which you can listen to right here on VTR and Sports. All right, opening day in baseball happened yesterday, and so it was exciting for me because the Yankees won 4-2. They look good. Shout out to Carlos Rodon getting the dub. Speaking of local teams, O's start the year with a win. I think the coolest stat coming from yesterday, Tyler O'Neill has now hit a home run in 6 straight opening days.
That's
pretty impressive. And then Phillies win 7-3. Dang it. I was going to talk some smack if Texas Rangers beat the Red Sox. Red Sox win 5-2. Marlins win 5-4. Giants win 6-4. White Sox. Oh my God, the White Sox won a baseball game. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to say that a lot this season.
We'll see. We'll remember that.
Their over-under is 53.5. The White Sox, so teach Phil about baseball. The White Sox are coming off of legitimately the worst season in the history of baseball. They are an awful team. Like they are the trust the process Sixers on crack.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. 8-1 over the Angels. Guardians beat the Royals 7-4. Astros beat the Mets 3-1. Juan Soto. Just saying, Juan Soto struck out. He's washed now. To end the game. Just kidding. I love Juan Soto, but you had to go to the dumb Mets. Padres beat the Braves 7-4. Cardinals get the win after a Nolan Arenado 2-run homer to walk off. That was good to see. 5-3 over the Twins. Dodgers win on their opening night. 5-4. Shohei Ohtani hits a homer in that one. Cubs beat the Diamondbacks 10-6, and the Mariners beat the A's 4-2. NBA last night. Heat 122, Hawks 112. Maybe the Heat have righted the ship a little bit. Tyler Hero drops 36. Cavs 124, Spurs 116, Mavs 101, Magic 92. AD has a nice night last night.
Good for them.
The ultimate capture the flag game. And it's 2 G's on the flag. Pacers 162. Wizards 109.
Oh my gosh.
Let me say that again. The Wizards gave up 162 points. Tyrese Halliburton with 29 and 6. I guess the game of the night. Bulls 119, Lakers 117.
Josh Giddey.
Josh Giddey hits a half-court buzzer beater to win. The Lakers give up, I think, 6 points in 6 seconds to give up a lead. Austin Reeves then takes the lead with a layup. And then Josh Giddey hits a half-court shot. And it's just incredible. Josh Giddey has a 25, 14, and 11 triple-double, too.
Jeez, Stephen A. is going to love this morning.
Yeah. I mean, sure. The guy lost on a half-court buzzer beater. Like, what? Rockets 121, Jazz 110. We can talk about that if you want. Kings 128, Trailblazers 107. I mean, we still got Friday hypothetical, but all right. So we sort of touched on the LeBron Stephen A thing, and I played like the perfect sequence yesterday when he said, and then so Stephen A. Smith starts first take with a nearly 20-minute rant about LeBron James, how he's never liked him, how he's a guy who always stab you in the back, how he's upset, like LeBron's always been upset that, I never called him the GOAT, how, Kendrick Perkins apparently said he's blocked LeBron's cell phone. I'm like, okay. Kendrick Perkins, I mean, you basically get made fun of for being on those Cavs teams that went to the finals because you did nothing and LeBron carried you, but that's different. He took a shot at how LeBron missed and he, to Stephen A's credit, he apologized for this part, how LeBron missed Kobe's memorial, even though LeBron was there, how LeBron missed Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame thing, even though LeBron was dealing with his son, who just had a heart episode. He's crashing. Stephen A's crashing out. That's what the kids say these days.
Grown little man.
That's kind of where I'll leave it. I am on LeBron's side. I'm on LeBron's side for 8% of it. The 2% I'm not is everything he said. And I think part of it was a joke, but taking shots at Brian Windhorst, because I think Brian Windhorst is actually like the best, like maybe the best basketball reporter we have. So, I mean, he has the all-time, I think top five sports meme is Windy, right? What's going on in Utah? That's a top 5 sports meme, but that's the only part I'm against is shots at Brian Windhorst. I think it was based off of, if you watch the full interview and use full context, which Philip, I know is crazy, full context. He is saying the best friend line, which LeBron probably doesn't like Windhorst, but he's saying he calls me his blanking best friend. I'm his blanking best friend, while there's a legitimate picture of Brian Windhorst photoshopped on his St. Vincent St. Mary's team. So it's hard for me to be like, I think half of it's a joke. Like, I think half of it is him trying to be funny. But yeah, Windy got really lucky. Like, he was on the beat of that St. Vincent St. Mary's team and got to follow LeBron to Cleveland. Yes, Windy, and he admits that. Like, Windy has never shied away from it. But by the time that can only get you so far without doing, good work.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely. He can't just ride it.
Like, he can't.
Working.
There's a reason why ESPN sent him to France to cover Victor Wembanyama. There's a reason they sent him to cover the Olympics. Like, he's just good at his job. All right. That's beside the point. We still got Friday hypothetical. We still got, which this is going to be an interesting one. I'm stealing it from the Cover 3 podcast. Someone asked a question on it, and I'm stealing that. We have honestly, Saturday is a very eventful day, so we're going to have an in-depth today in sports history. So we're going to take a break, and then we come back. We'll do those two things. Give us your thoughts at Trey Lyle VT, at Philip Doss 1, at Ty Tracy 90. This is the Morning Warm Up.
We are making it happen at the Used Car Superstore on the Sheeler Motor Mile, your premier used car dealer serving Southwest Virginia and surrounding areas for over 50 years with the best selection, value, finance options, and exceptional service. Plus 900 pre-owned vehicles all in one location. Volume selling means volume pricing, and we've got the volume. The Used Car Superstore is your one stop for most makes and models. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. Many have miles in the teens, remaining factory warranties, and some are even local one-owner vehicles. Plus, Sheeler owns the finance company. Getting approved for credit is easy on the Motor Mile with finance options for every budget. 900 used vehicles in stock now. More than any other dealer in the area. Hurry in for straightforward pricing and more inventory arriving daily. Why wait? Make it happen at the Used Car Superstore on the Sheeler Motor Mile, your premier family-owned car dealer serving Southwest Virginia and surrounding areas for 50 years. I-81 exit 118C in Christiansburg. Call 866-SHEELER1. Always open at Sheeler.com.
When you're voted one of the best plumbers according to Lynchburg Living magazine, you want to hire the best. Sullivan Plumbing wants the best plumbers to join our award-winning team. Do you have a clean driving record? Do you have at least 4 years plumbing experience? Then you're a 5-star recruit, and Sullivan Plumbing would love to meet with you. Take the first step. Call Sullivan Plumbing in downtown Lynchburg or email sullivanplumbing@gmail.com.
We're here with Colt from We Fix Stupid Computers. Colt, to go along with your residential or individual walk-in services that you offer, you also do a lot of business IT support. How about you discuss that, and what specifically do you do to help businesses in the area?
We see a lot of that. Small to medium-sized businesses, they still have their IT projects. They still need resources to help them within their office and for remote users. And so we'll step in and fill in the gap where we do a lot of projects for them, help them manage their resources, their budgets, and get their technology under control.
Colt, how can these people reach out to you to assess their IT needs?
Call us. Our number is 434-525-8590. Our website, wefixstupidcomputers.com. We're on Facebook, and our office is here locally, 14690 Forest Road, right next to Scott's Cabinet on 221.
Allstate agent Donovan Howell is now serving Lynchburg. He lives and works here just like you. And with all kinds of local insurance advice, Donovan is someone you can count on to help you protect all that's good in your life. Donovan makes it easy to save on the quality protection you need, and I'll even help you do the switching and the paperwork for you.
Call or come by the Donovan Howell Allstate office in Windhurst today.
Guests are great, except unwanted guests. At Specialty Exterminating, we know the difference. Hi, I'm Sabrina Kennan with Specialty Exterminating. We help you keep unwanted pests out of your home. Now we can keep those reptiles away. Our new reptile repellent is the perfect add-on for your pest prevention service. It's pet and people safe, so it's perfect for any homeowner, especially pool owners and homes in wooded and rural areas. Call us so we can repel the reptiles. Specialty Exterminating, your pest prevention partner since 1979.
Join the Lynchburg Hillcats at Bank of the James Stadium this summer for any of your favorite nightly promotions. New this year are Senior Sluggers Tuesdays, where members of the Silver Sluggers Club get in free, and College Pride Night, where those wearing college apparel receive a discounted ticket on Wednesdays. As always, we'll have Thirsty Thursdays and giveaways and fireworks on the weekend, and free admission for Kids Club members on Sunday. Get your tickets today at lynchburg-hillcats.com.
Depressed about your favorite sports team? Well, VTRN Sports is presented by the perfect relaxing beach house vibe, Edo One Raw Bar on Church Street in downtown Lynchburg.
Good morning. We are just getting your day started here on VTRN Sports with the morning warm-up. Stay connected at Trey Lyle VT and Ty Tracy 90 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Listen wherever you are with the VTRN Sports app, or watch the show live on YouTube at youtube.com/VTRN Sports Lynchburg. Now, back to the morning warm-up.
7:32 on this March 28th. It is race weekend here in the area, racing in Martinsville. That's where I head later today for coverage for frontstretch.com. So I'm keeping myself busy. So Monday, will be a sleep-deprived episode of the morning warm-up. Just warning you now, but we'll have a great show on Monday reacting to the Final Four will be set. So I'm assuming Duke will be there and Florida will be there. Joining them, I will guess is what did I say? I think joining them will be Tennessee, which I have to keep my original Final Four. Michigan State, Tennessee, Florida, and Duke are all that's my original Final Four, and I think I'm going to stick to it. And if I get that right, well, I'm going to be annoying. All right, let's get it. Today in sports history, this is interesting. It's a 5-pack, but 4 questions.
Huh.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James.
Many doubted we'd ever see it. But here it is. The return to glory.
It's time for Today in Sports History.
Seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
I go length of the court with Archie Diacono. 3 seconds at midcourt. Jenkins gives it to Jenkins for the championship.
Let's hear what Ty really knows about what happened on this day in sports history.
All right. So there's only one that's Friday. The rest are Saturday. All right. So we're going to start with Friday. In 1992, this man hit a 15-foot turnaround jump shot at the buzzer to give defending champion Duke a 104-103 OT victory over Kentucky to make their 5th consecutive trip to the Final Four.
Christian Laettner.
Ty.
No.
Ty, you gave it to him. Yes, it's Christian Laettner.
That's why I was thinking that.
Speaking of men who hit shots, Saturday. So now we're moving to. That's right. Ty basically gave it to you. There's a whole ESPN 30 that says I hate Christian Laettner.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Saturday, 1982. This man hit a jump shot with 16 seconds left to give North Carolina a 63. Actually, I'm going to change this. Michael Jordan hit a jump shot with 16 seconds left, giving North Carolina a 63-62 victory over this school in the national championship.
Duke.
Wrong. Georgetown.
Oh.
Georgetown won the title the next year.
Okay.
All right. This is a 2-parter, and it's 1984 and 1996.
Okay.
And you're going to have to name 3 teams in a city.
Okay.
So in 1984, this team moved from this city to this city. Then, preceding it in 1996, this team officially announced their new name for the relocated team, which was what? This was let's start with, so let's take this piece by piece. In 1984, it was an infamous move. It happened overnight.
Talking about basketball.
This is football.
Football.
It happened overnight. It was the Mayflower.
Oh my gosh.
Ty, do you have this? Do you have the first part at least?
The coast leaving Baltimore.
Correct. To where? They went to
Indianapolis.
All right. So now we have half of it.
Put that song together.
So there's your hint for the next part. In 1996, this team chose their new team for what they were going to be relocated to. So think about the city they just left.
The Ravens.
Okay, so what team was relocated to Baltimore? You might not know this, but hint. Here, I want to see if we get hint. They played them a lot now. Like twice a year.
This who the Ravens play a lot?
Yes, they play them twice a year. The Cleveland Browns.
Oh, I was about to say this.
The Cleveland Browns.
Steelers are sounding crazy.
So he went what? 2-2 there? 2 and we'll give him 2-2. Right?
I was surprised you gave Christian Laettner one because
I'm being nice today. I'm being nice today. All right, let's get to Friday hypothetical.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday.
Happy Friday, everyone. The mind is a powerful thing at the end of a long week.
Come on. Think.
Let's dream up some absurd or awesome scenarios. It's time for Friday Hypothetical.
All right, Friday hypothetical. If you could go pro in any sport, and this is not based off your personal skill set now, because I couldn't do any, but like you just have that skill set. Yeah. If you could go pro in any sport, what would it be?
Probably baseball.
So I thought baseball too, but then I thought of the 162 games.
Yeah. Well, football, obviously, if I was super good at football, I might get a max contract for my rookie year.
Yeah, but it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, and football money, I never realized this till like football money versus baseball and basketball money is completely different. And I guess there are a lot of games in baseball, but there's still the physical taxing. This is just far less than any of the other sports, I feel like.
Yeah, so I'm going with basketball. I'm down to basketball or golf.
Yeah, that's a close one.
Because if I'm really good at golf, I can make a lot of money, and you get sponsorship still. Like a lot of money. You can make a lot of money. So that's the two I was down to, and it's like, would I rather play basketball every day, or rather play golf every day? And you would travel to more places if you play. But I think I would be because the most popular athlete in America is a basketball player.
Yeah, I think I'd rather be really good at basketball and casually play golf and know I can.
Because I feel like you can be good. I can be really good at basket. Like I can be the best basketball player in the world and also good at golf. But I can't be the best golfer in the world and like good at bat. Like I don't think you're gonna see Justin Thomas like hit, or I should say Scotty Scheffler. He's the best golfer in the world. Like, go 4 of 6 from 3. I don't know. Maybe Scotty's a bucket. Who knows? He is big. So maybe he's got a nice post game. But I think ultimately, because even if I was like a 3-and-D guy, I'm making $20 million a year. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like
yeah.
Trey Murphy, who went to UVA and is on the Pelicans, is about to get like a rookie max contract, and he's essentially a 3-and-D player. Like he's not like a super duper star or even a star. Like he's a 3-and-D wing. Granted, for one of the worst teams in the NBA, but he plays well. So, where do you sit, Ty? Come on in.
I'll go with basketball because you gotta think about it. You get a contract with guaranteed money, and you gotta worry about like NFL players, like they don't make that much money, and plus overseas you probably be well named known as overseas as well.
Yeah, internationally.
Yeah.
Same thing with baseball.
So yeah, that's why I feel like basketball. And plus, I think they get paid. They'll give you a max contract like 5-year or like 300 or something like that. So that's why I'll go with basketball.
Unless you'd like to drink beer.
Well, you can't be Luka though. That's the difference.
I mean, you could. I mean,
or Larry Bird.
I just shout out Larry Bird. I mean, that's still so dumb. All right, that's so dumb. I still can't. I'm watching Lakers games and I see Luka Doncic and I'm like, how did he get traded? Yeah. So are we all agreeing that we're basketball players?
Yeah, I think we'll agree with this.
Y'all could pass as basketball players. As a short white guy, I cannot. I would have to have genetically. So like, here's another thing. If you told me I have to keep the body I'm in right now, the 5'5", and I'm assuming I would be in better shape if I played sports. So let's say I'm like 5'5", 150. I don't know. I'm like, or I'm 5'8". I'm not 5'5". I'm 5'8". But still, 5'8", 1'8", like 150. I should play golf. Like I can't play basketball. Now, if I was like 6'4", then I could play. Like somehow I had better genetics. I could play basketball.
I mean, Jason Wynn was like 6'1".
Yeah, that's still 3 inches taller than me.
I'm about to say it.
That's still 3. Like, here we go. Muggsy Bogues. How tall was Muggsy Bogues? Muggsy
5'3".
5'3". So
him and Spud Webb.
yeah, so like I'd be Spud Webb out there, but yamming on dudes. All right, give us your thoughts at Trey Lyle VT. What sport would you want to play? All right, we're gonna call. So when we come back, we're gonna get some UVA reaction to Ryan Odom, the next head coach at UVA, with Casey Pazzalia from the Virginia Gameday podcast. It is 7:43 here on the morning warm-up.
We're joined by Randy Trost from Trost Law, and they've been serving our community since 1982. Randy, good to be speaking with you. What are some of the pillars that have enabled Trost Law to be a community service partner for over 4 decades?
Well, one of our main pillars is customer service, client service. We believe in providing the utmost personal service to each of our clients. We take time to listen to the client, listen to their situation, and apply our expertise to that situation to come out with the best outcome for that particular client.
You mentioned all of that. When people call Trost Law, how different is it in terms of being guaranteed to speak with the person?
We pride ourselves, when you call our office, you are going to have a person pick up the telephone. There will not be a robotic teleprompter come in asking you to press a number to find out who you should be directed to. You'll get a live person. They'll greet you in a pleasant fashion and direct you to the person most appropriate for your issue.
And if people leave a message, true or false, you get back to them within 24 hours.
Absolutely. If you don't hear from our office within 24 hours, there's a problem. Call the police to help us.
Randy Trost with Trost Law. Fun way to end that, but it's informative for people. Randy, thank you so much. And we see now why Trost Law has been serving our community since 1982.
Thank you for having me.
Randy Trost of Trost Law. For more info, trostlaw.com and 777-HURT.
Guests are great, except unwanted guests. At Specialty Exterminating, we know the difference. Hi, I'm Sabrina Kennan with Specialty Exterminating. We help you keep unwanted pests out of your home. Now we can keep those reptiles away. Our new reptile repellent is the perfect add-on for your pest prevention service. It's pet and people safe, so it's perfect for any homeowner, especially pool owners and homes in wooded and rural areas. Call us so we can repel the reptiles. Specialty Exterminating, your pest prevention partner since 1979.
When you're voted one of the best plumbers according to Lynchburg Living magazine, you want to hire the best. Sullivan Plumbing wants the best plumbers to join our award-winning team. Do you have a clean driving record? Do you have at least 4 years plumbing experience? Then you're a 5-star recruit, and Sullivan Plumbing would love to meet with you. Take the first step. Call Sullivan Plumbing in downtown Lynchburg or email sullivanplumbing@gmail.com.
When the thrill of playing ball turns into the agony of a broken windshield or car window, contact Apple Auto Glass. Your local auto glass repair shop on Allegheny Avenue in Lynchburg, Apple Auto Glass provide a professional assessment with the honesty from your neighbors, so you can get back to sharing the great moments this season. The Black Rose, Mount Joy, Government Mule, JJ Grayton Mofro. Need us to continue? Paul Coffin, the California Honey Drop, Mark and Poe. And that's just a handful of acts performing at Floyd Fest 25 Aurora, July 23rd through 27th at Festival Park in Floyd. Ticket prices increase soon on April 1st. So get your tickets now at floydfest.com. Winner of the Best Music Festival. Even more acts to be announced soon for Floyd Fest 25 Aurora. So get your tickets now at floydfest.com or prices increase on April 1st.
Do you know what a cold climate heat pump is? They're a new generation of heat pumps from Tara Lee Mosley that provide substantially more heat than traditional heat pumps, even when it's 5 degrees outside. This means your electrical auxiliary heat runs less, saving you big time on your electric bill. And with the recent spikes in electric utility rates, that's crucial. Plus, these new heat pumps qualify you for a $2,000 federal tax credit. Contact Tara Lee Mosley for more info on the new cold climate heat pumps.
Good morning. We are just getting your day started here on VTRN Sports with the morning warm-up. Stay connected with the show at Trey Lyle VT and Ty Tracy 90 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Listen wherever you are with the VTRN Sports app or watch the show live on YouTube at youtube.com/VTRN Sports Lynchburg. Now, back to the morning warm-up.
7:48 on this Friday, March 28th. Trey Lyle here for the morning warm-up. Joining me now, he is the host of the Virginia Game Day podcast, Casey Pazzalia. Casey, thanks so much for getting up with us this morning, my friend. And let's jump right into it. Ryan Odom, the next head coach at UVA. You and I we've been texting a little bit down the stretch here, but it always felt like Ryan Odom, kind of once we were sure that Ron Sanchez was not coming back. Your overall, your first reaction when you finally got the quote unquote official news that Ryan Odom was going to be the next head coach at Virginia?
Well, good morning, guys. Thanks for having me on. And it's kind of always been the vibe that Ryan Odom was going to be the head coach, like you said. And as soon as the announcement came down, it was like, all right, let's look at VCU's roster and see who might be coming over from VCU, because he's going to try and bring some players over. And we've obviously had a mass exodus from the UVA roster. So right now, a lot of UVA fans are looking at how we're going to be looking for next year and how we plan to build the roster.
Looking at this team, you mentioned the mass exodus. Isaac McNeely leaves. Amongst other players, which is not shocking. In terms of rebuilding this roster, where's your confidence level, or where have you, talking to people and have read that you think UVA, in terms of an investment that, Tony Bennett wasn't, I don't want to say didn't have, but just didn't fully embrace, is going to be there when Ryan Odom, over the next couple of weeks while Ryan Odom rebuilds this roster?
So in conversations I've had over the last couple of days, there has been a massive NIL commitment that UVA has gotten. I don't know if it's just this year or if it's something that they can sustain moving forward. Like, I don't know how UVA is going to be able to compete with like the Kentuckys and like the really big NIL programs, but there is a big commitment for kind of rebuilding this roster from what I've heard. So that's encouraging. I would love to think they can land some big prospects in the portal. Right now, from the existing roster, there's only 3 guys that have not entered the portal, being Elijah Gertrude, Carter Lang, who is a local kid who redshirted last year, and Eli Saunders, the San Diego State transfer, who played a lot last year and played well. So there's 3 existing players, and then they're going to have to, some VCU guys. There's a lot of the VCU guys were 50-year seniors and guys who don't have any eligibility left, but there are some good players that can come over. And then they've contacted a number of portal guys. So I'm hoping they can get guys that fit what Ryan Odom wants to do.
So I'm going to ask 2 obvious questions about Ryan Odom from I think you're the perfect balance between covering the team and being a fan of the team, as you obviously went to UVA, hence why you started the podcast, but then, you've grown into this role. So first, hiring Ryan Odom, and then, I've been making the jokes these last couple of weeks. Like, I wonder if they're going to put the UMBC game in the montage. They do. They did put it in the, the official press release, like he was the, and they outright said it was against Virginia. They didn't just say he was the first coach, he was the first coach to do a 16-1 upset. They talked about the game. Obviously, I think the fact that they can look at that game a little bit better now that, 2019 happened. But the fact that if I went to you in 2018 as they walked off the court and be like, hey, good news is, bad news, you lost the game, but good news, you found the successor to Tony Bennett. What would you have thought in that moment?
Let me just clarify. I didn't go to UVA. My wife did, but I married into this fandom and happily did. But at that point, Ryan Odom didn't have a lot of kind of chops, really. It was, he was a assistant at Tech, like we had talked about, and that was really his first thing that put him on the map. So since then, his stock has risen. He's won at Utah State. He's won at VCU. He's proven that he can do it at multiple places. So at that moment, I don't know if people would have thought that it was like a knockout hire, but what he's proven over the last 6-7 years, I think he's kind of backed up that kind of landmark upset that he pulled in 2018.
And then the other part is for fans, when they go to a game and you see a team pushing tempo and maybe sometimes using full court press and, actually shooting the ball with 15 seconds left in the shot clock. How big of an adjustment do you think it's going to take for fans to see, this is, I don't want to say this is a full 180 because that would be if they hired Richard Pitino, but like this is going to be, this is definitely a very different style than we want to play this game in the 60s. Like VCU was a great defensive team, but they did play with a lot of pace. They did shoot a lot of threes. And that part of it is the VCU style has kind of always stayed there, but I think Ryan Odom's going to take those concepts and use them at Virginia.
I think there is a massive, massive appetite for a change in style. So, the one thing that's going to be hard to get over is the shot clock violations. Everyone at JPJ here in Charlottesville, we love a good shot clock violation, but I think that's going to be the only thing that's going to be, a little bit hard to part with. I think there's a huge appetite for a little bit more exciting style. And with how things have gone the last 5 years and Tony not being here anymore, I think everyone's ready for a change and accepting of it.
Looking at this hire and Ryan Odom and the NIL investment and, turning the page, I can ask you one question, about Ron Sanchez is, it always just felt inevitable by the end of the season. It felt like unless he, and we kind of saw this happen, like unless he went on and I don't think he had to make the Elite Eight, but a Rodney Terry-like run where he exceeded expectations and he took this team to the NCAA tournament. That was kind of his only path. Like, did you get the sense ultimately that Ron Sanchez had a narrow path to keep this job and ultimately it was best for everyone just to, after Tony Bennett announced his retirement, that at the end of the season, we're going to just turn the page and start anew and find someone completely different? Because if we keep trying to hire the next quote unquote Tony Bennett, we're never going to do it because so many programs have tried to do that. I used USC in trying to find a Pete Carroll light as an example, and it never working out. Like, do you feel like with the Ron Sanchez things, it was, all right, we're never going to replace Tony Bennett, like, with the Tony Bennett style, we need someone just completely different?
Yeah, like you said, narrow path. I think he would have had to win a NCAA, get the return back, because when UVA had a little bit of a run there in the middle of ACC action where they won like 5 of 6, and that's when the former players started talking and saying, "Oh, of course he's got a chance to get this job back." And I'm like, oh wow, maybe it could really happen. But the way that they played down the stretch, I think it sealed his fate. And Tony could always say that he gave one of his guys a chance to take over. It didn't work out, so I think it checks all the boxes. We got to see a year of a Tony successor. Didn't work out. Tony did a lot of great things prior to that. Okay, now we can bring in something completely different. And it's someone who Coach Bennett has, signed off on, given his stamp of approval. I don't know if you saw the statement that Coach Bennett put out, but, he got the stamp of approval. He's welcomed him to the community. And, in that statement, Coach Bennett still aligns himself with UVA. So, to my knowledge, he's still in the community, and he was at some games this year. So I think we're in a good spot where it's kind of like there is that fabric of 2018, unfortunately, but there is still a little, it makes it a little bit easier to kind of move forward.
We're here with Casey Pazzalia of the Virginia Gameday podcast. One final question for you before we get out of here on this Friday. Ultimately, It seems to be year 2 is the year where it really hits for Ryan Odom. He made the NCAA tournament in year 2 at UMBC. We saw what he did there. He made the year 2 at Utah State. Obviously, this year at year 2 at VCU. Ultimately, your expectations for him and how quickly do you want him to get this thing turned around?
I think year 2 is a great expectation, but we've seen it so much recently. Like, look at a team like Missouri, who goes winless in conference play. They bring in some studs and they turn it around. I don't want to sell Odom or Virginia or the commitment they're making to, having a power program. I don't want to sell them short. So I would love to see it in the first year. It can be done. It's happening so much this year. Like, look at NC State. They're in the Final Four, then they don't win any games. So 1 year could change everything. So we'll see what these next, couple of months have in store for us, what kind of players we can bring in, if any of these guys return. Because we talked about IMAC, IMAC is still UVA is still in IMAC's top 3, I believe, to where he's going. So I'm hopeful, and I would love to see it in the first year, but he's going to get a long leash, and we're excited to see what he brings to town.
At Virginia Game Day on Twitter, Casey Pazzalia. Thanks so much, man, for joining us this morning. We'll talk to you in the next in a little bit, maybe once baseball season's not baseball. Baseball season hits the apex in terms of college baseball will come in regional time.
Sounds good, man. UVA struggling there, but we'll figure it out. We'll get it on track.
Yeah, the preseason top team is not off to a great start as well. What? Thanks so much. Go ahead.
Hat tip to Liberty. They beat UVA the other day at Liberty.
There we have it. Thanks so much, man.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
That will do it for today. Sports 93.3 FM W227 BG Timberlake and 1320 AM WVGM Lynchburg.